Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media here, and there's more news in the already unbelievable, absolutely ridiculous saga of Jeffrey Epstein and, of course, Ghislaine Maxwell, who you may know as the people behind a massive blackmail ring for the government, according to many of the people that worked with them, in order to entrap people with child trafficking globally and be able to use this evidence against them in order to get what they want out of powerful politicians, actors, businessmen, bankers, you name it. And there's new news that's absolutely ridiculous, and it boggles my mind that people actually believe any of this nonsense at this point. I mean, this is completely a Hollywood production. As this Daily Mail article says, federal judge's son, 20, is shot dead, and her criminal defense attorney husband is critically injured after a gunman disguised as a FedEx driver ambushed their home 4 days after she was assigned a case linked to Jeffrey Epstein. So not only is this person connected to trying to expose Deutsche Bank for something, which, by the way, Deutsche Bank just got hit with a massive fine over their connection to Jeffrey Epstein. And, of course, one of the bankers was connected to Epstein at Deutsche Bank, already mysteriously killed himself. But on top of that, it's connected to Epstein. So you're basically going up against Deutsche Bank, one of the most powerful and corrupt banks in the world, as well as Jeffrey Epstein. The whole investigation is a whitewash, in my opinion, and we are going to get into that and more right away. This doesn't get any more suspicious than this. Really, it's absolutely absurd. But anyway, before we get into more on this, make sure to hit that like button, share this on social media to get around the shadow banning, hit that like button, and of course, join us on Flote.app, BitChute, Minds, and LBRY, as we will not be on YouTube much longer. We are leaving by November 5th of 2020. There's no point to be on this site anymore. We're demonetized, censored, and completely viewer funded, by the way. So check those links below for ways that you can help pledge, donate, or keep independent media alive. We really appreciate anything you guys can do, as well as joining our new newsletter at www.iambanned.com. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about this story, as this article goes into the gunman shot and killed Judge Esther Salas' son, Daniel, 20 years old, and injured her husband, Mark, 63. The assailant opened fire after Daniel, a college student, opened the door to him at their home around 5 p.m. His father, Mark, was shot several times at the door and is now in critical condition in the hospital. Judge Salas is believed to have been in the basement during the shooting and was not harmed. Last week, the judge was assigned a civil financial fraud lawsuit against Deutsche Bank. Investors say they were misled by the bank, which continued to do business with Jeffrey Epstein after his 2008 conviction for soliciting child prostitutes. It's not like banks are the epitome of morality, guys. As it continues, it says Salas previously presided over the trial of former Real Housewives Teresa Guidis in a case regarding financial fraud. Not that any of you care. Her husband is a prominent criminal defense attorney who has represented members of the Bloods. That'll help in their case to make it appear as though Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's case have nothing to do with this new mysterious death. As it continues, it says he switched to a private practice after serving as a prosecutor in New Jersey for more than 10 years. Friends say Salas frequently made remarks about being a target because of her job and receiving threats. You see this article here. It says gunman kills son of judge overseeing Deutsche Bank Epstein trial. Of course, this made Epstein trend once again on Twitter. People are not buying the noise. Well, at least I hope not. A lot of people are getting caught up in the media agenda relating to Epstein, but I do believe there's a lot of people waking up to the fact that this is obviously a whitewash. And think of it this way: if they're better off dead and everyone realizing that this is nonsense, imagine what they could say alive. And carrying on, the shooter, as it says out of NBC, it's a suspect in shooting death of federal judge's son is found dead, believed to be attorney. So is he a blood? Is he attorney? Does he work for Mossad? What's going on here? And it just plays into this narrative that's absolutely ridiculous, including this New York Post article, which is quite recent, that says Ghislaine Maxwell reportedly moved from cell to avoid assassins. Like, anyone's going to believe that some random everyday criminal is going to kill Ghislaine Maxwell before she speaks names. The only people that benefits is the government. So why would that happen? It's absurd. Who outside of the government and Hillary Clinton wants Ghislaine Maxwell dead? I think this is a complete whitewash. They are going to completely destroy the investigation. They're going to make politics of it. They're going to divide people against each other. It's the same thing they always do. But again, we have this woman's son getting killed while she was in the basement, and of course she is presiding over the Deutsche Bank Epstein case. It cannot be more dangerous. You're going up against Deutsche Bank and Epstein at the same time. Epstein, who of course did not kill himself, and his brother recently came out and said he was murdered and that he was innocent. He's been saying that since last year, but charges have been allegedly filed. I have not seen the paperwork myself, but it has hit a lot of headlines as of recently, and no one buys the story. If you bring up Epstein to anyone, if they know who he is, they know that this is all nonsense. Of course, James Patterson writing the main book on Jeffrey Epstein a couple years ago, before he allegedly died or retired to a beach in Israel. And it was interesting because he went on to write a book with Bill Clinton right after this. Of course, Bill Clinton spending, going on Epstein's plane 26 times, ditching Secret Service 12 times, as well as going to his ranch in New Mexico multiple times, almost every year on the dot, where they featured a fake schoolhouse and saloon and underground tunnel system. Sounds totally legit, of course. So I just want to look at this this judge for a second. This judge was obviously facing imminent danger. I'm sure she realized that. Was she shown a silver bullet? Did she go against them, say we're going to expose this thing? Did she, is this a ritual assassination of I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is there's many different takes that one can have on this story, that either way, it adds up to this investigation being whitewashed. What they're probably going to do with Ghislaine Maxwell, if she had anything real to say or was going to name names as they said, she'd be dead already. Or she has a dead man switch and is on the other side of the world on vacation as well, and not actually in prison. I still haven't seen any photos that actually prove. I saw one photo of her apparently in the back of a car. I haven't seen any real photos of her being arrested, and with such a high-profile case, that's highly unusual at this point in time. It's been multiple weeks, it's coming up on a month now, actually, so it's absurd. So at the end of the day, I would say that we are just watching more of the government's intervention, maybe foreign governments' interventions in the case. They don't want people to realize that governments run giant child trafficking rings and prostitution rings. They don't want people to know that they use massive blackmail rings to get all politicians to, stand in line and do what they're told. They don't want this stuff coming out, and they'd rather everyone realize that they're killing people than be caught up in absolute definitive child trafficking and end up having to face the consequences of that. If anything, because these days people seem rather complacent, and I'm not even sure anyone would do anything about it. But nonetheless, I think they are weighing out the odds, the lesser of two evils, I guess you could say. So we will continue to cover the story. Of course, many of you have seen our recent video on how Ghislaine Maxwell was using the same law firm as the JonBenet Ramsey case, and was in a photo with JonBenet shortly before she died. Very strange stuff, very strange connections. If you have not seen that video yet, make sure to check it out. It's one of the only videos YouTube's allowed us to actually get views on as of recently, so make sure to go to our channel and check out the JonBenet Epstein connection. Anyway, we'll see where this goes from here. I'll keep you updated. This is probably going nowhere good anytime soon. A lot of people get excited about this stuff. I've been around the conspiracy community for enough time to know that this always goes nowhere. It never goes anywhere, and it always gets deep-sixed, and there's controlled opposition, there's complete psyops that we're witnessing in order to cover up the real story. It's what the CIA calls a limited hangout. It's telling some of the truth, but not the entirety of the truth, to distract from the entirety of the truth, and that, I believe, is what we're witnessing today. So anyway, stay vigilant, my friends. Make sure to check those links below, help support independent media, hit that like button, share on social media, join our new newsletter at www.imband.com, and join us on Flote.app, especially. We are posting every day there, as well as BitChute, LBRY, and Minds. I hope you follow us there. We have very few followers on LBRY so far, so make sure to go over there at World Alternative Media at WHAM. We'll see you there soon. We will be off YouTube any moment now. I'm counting down the hours, so make sure to follow us elsewhere. Anyway, appreciate everyone watching today, and until next time, don't buy the fake news. This is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change. My friends, it is go time. We are completely demonetized on YouTube, and we depend on the viewer to stay alive and spread the message of freedom and truth. So check those links below. GoFundMe, Patreon, Subscribestar, anything you guys could do to help keep independent media alive helps enormously in helping spread this message to the masses. So make sure to check those links. Donate to our Bitcoin address on the screen or below. We really appreciate anything you could do to keep us alive. You could check those links below for Cointree as well, where you can find other cryptocurrencies that you can donate and keep WAM alive. Find us on flote.app, flote.app, as well as BitChute and LBRY and Minds. We're on all the other platforms. We are leaving YouTube soon, so make sure to find us at those sites, because it's the only way we can keep talking to you, the masses, the great people that actually care about the future of free humanity. Also, join our new newsletter at www.iambanned.com. Anything helps at this point, guys. We need to support free information online. This is the most difficult time in our history, and it takes a lot of hard work to keep our message alive in the face of great evils that have taken over the propaganda news on television as well as on YouTube, where YouTube decides what you can or cannot see. We need your help, my friends. So I really appreciate anything you guys can do. Check those links. There's many ways you can help. Until next time, though, thanks, everyone. This is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.
I'm sure you have already changed people's minds in your young age because you're involved, and I like that.